respectful. Temperatures in Montana, they are in the 80s. Idaho, temperatures are in the range from the low 70s to upper 80s. In Wyoming, temperatures there are in the low 70s to low 80s. Moving down to Colorado, Utah, Nevada, you have temperatures there. They're in the low 60s to low 70s. Utah temperatures are in the 70s. Nevada temperatures throughout much of the state, they are in the low 60s to mid 70s. In southern Nevada, temperatures are in the upper 70s to mid 80s. Going down to Arizona and New Mexico, the desert southwest. Temperatures range from 79 in Gallup and Espanola to 95 in Carlsbad. In Arizona, you have in the northern half of the state, temperatures range from 64 in Flagstaff to 82 in Kingman. Yeah. In the southern half of the state, temperatures are in the upper 80s to the mid 90s. California, let's see what we got for California. So, in California, you have 62 in Eureka. Temperatures are in the 80s in the San Francisco Bay Area, 88 in LA, 75 in San Diego, 93 in Indio. Temperatures are in the mid 90s to mid hundreds in the Central Valley, California. Then in the Pacific Northwest, you have temperatures in Oregon. They are in the mid 70s. Well, they range from 75 in Lakeview to 93 in Eugene. Washington State, temperatures range from 79 in Seattle to 95 in Yakima, or 97 in Walla Walla. Let's take a look at the gusts. Strong gusts are in the northeast. They are blowing up to 40 miles an hour throughout much of the northeast, though, moving from the west, especially the Great Lakes region, but coming from the northwest, though, particularly in Michigan and parts of Ohio, too. And we go down south. Winds, wind gusts are up to 30 to 35 miles per hour, maybe close to 40 in some places like the southern parts and western parts of Texas, and especially parts of South Florida. Then we move on. Let me see what we got. So the desert southwest, some places have gusts of up to 40 to 50 miles an hour there, particularly in the Great Basin, desert southwest, and parts of California, and especially the northern Rockies. And what about humidity? Where's the humidity? Where the humidity? It's there's some humidity throughout the Finger Lakes region, all the way to the upper Susquehanna River Valley in Pennsylvania. Hold on a minute again. All right, and there's plenty of humidity in Central Florida. A lot of humidity in Arkansas and Oklahoma, even parts of Utah, Nevada. And now let's move on to see what we got in terms of rainfall accumulation. Not much is going on in South Florida, maybe up to a half an inch rain. In the interior parts of the west, like the desert southwest and Great Basin areas, some have locally amounts as high as up to 2 to 4 inches of rain, particularly in the eastern and northern Utah northern New Mexico, and southeastern Idaho. But do remember, folks, that, oh yeah, and also there's up to an inch of rain in parts of South Texas. Oh, and let's not forget to mention that along the lake shores of Lake Ontario, up to, excuse me, up to an inch of rain to be estimated. Now, keep in mind, folks, all this is just an estimate, not the actual amount. Consult with your local officials for the actual amounts, the ones that have been observed in the local area, because they're the ones who give you accurate rainfall accumulations that have been happening in real time, been having the rainfall being observed, and that goes with wind gusts and sustained winds from mostly from severe weather. Sometimes from severe weather, other times from other factors. Now let's move on and see what we got in both the tropics and the upper level part of the atmosphere. But we're going to do the 3-day forecast for this part. This is the GFS. It's 500 millibars. And we're going to use that as a means of the tropical update that we're about to do right now. So let's assume this is right now. So we do have a ridge that's located over Colorado, and a trough located just over Lake Ontario. What does this mean, folks? Well, folks, I can tell you this, is that there's some precipitation throughout the interior parts of the Northeast and parts of the Ohio Valley too, all the way down to it's just the interior parts of the Northeast and Mid-Atlantic and the parts of the Ohio Valley too. And plenty of precipitation, plenty of storms to go around throughout the interior parts of the West, like the Desert Southwest and the Great Basin, and as well as the Northern Rockies too. And now let's just see what we got in the next 24 hours. Now, why can't it happen in the Northeast? Well, folks, all I can say is that you're not getting much humidity out of this. Just to show you guys what's going on. Well, it's quite less humid, folks, as you can see. Okay, winds are coming from the west. So, what you guys are dealing with is just nothing short of like crosswinds. Winds, what I'm trying to say is that it's cooling, folks, for the most part, but there's just not enough moisture to go around just to make more precipitation, more rain, not much of convection, which we're gonna bring it up in just a moment, folks. And now we're gonna see what's gonna happen tomorrow night. So by tomorrow night, there will be a trough just located over Maine, and a small ridge just located over West Virginia, and a trough over Hudson Bay, and another ridge that's going to be over Colorado. And from what it looks like, there's an upper level low that's going to be over the Pacific Northwest in the interior parts of which, hold on a minute, again. Right? Now, what does this mean, folks? Okay. It means there's going to be some wet weather that's still going to linger throughout the desert southwest and as well as the northern Rockies And also, there could be some more precipitation, more rain throughout the Great Lakes region as well, all the way down to the Ohio Valley, but nothing too severe. And now let's move on to Thursday night. By Thursday night, there will be a trough that's going to be northeast of Lake Huron. And there's going to be a ridge over the Colorado Rockies, an upper level low. A weak upper level low would be over northern Idaho. And there will be a ridge located northeast of, north of northeast Montana. Now, what does this mean? There could be some will still be wet weather throughout the desert Southwest and the Great Basin too. And look, there could be some wet weather, maybe a few storms from New England all the way down to Georgia. And maybe a chance of more wet weather throughout parts of Montana. And just north of the Great Plains of the U.S. And finally, by Friday night, there will be an upper level low just north of New England, which means there could be a trough. It's going to be there, and there's going to be a ridge over the desert Southwest, and there's going to be a trough just tilted, though, right located over northwest Montana. And I see a trough just off the California coast. What does this mean? Some wet weather will occur throughout the Sierra Nevadas, parts of the Great Basin, though. And there could be some wet weather that's going to happen throughout the northern Rockies. And also more wet weather to go around in parts of New England, all the way to the Carolinas, maybe even up and down to Florida. And also more wet weather in the southern end of the Appalachian Mountains. Now let's go back and use this model, but to zoom out just to see the tropics. Right, from what it looks like is that, of course, there will be a trough there. And there's going to be a tropical wave that's going to occur just located just northeast of the Windward Islands. And the one coming out of Africa, well, not much is going to happen. Fernando will still remain a tropical storm for about a couple more hours. And we'll see about that once it gets eaten up by a trough, as you can see, folks. Nothing much is brewing in the Gulf. There could be something, but I highly doubt that, folks. There's still this upper level high that's dominating throughout the Atlantic. Quite weak, though. Yet you have a strong trough just located over the east coast of the U.S. and Canada. Then 24 hours from now, you have Fernand that's still holding on with all of its strength that's still left in its arsenal, but what good would it do, right? That tropical wave does tend to get weak. I mean, you do have plenty of strong upper level winds, and some dry air will get mixed in, and you got this trough that's going to be over the east coast. And there could be something coming out of Africa, but winds are too strong, and you have dry air that's going to get sucked in. Maybe something just brushing up, just located on the northern end of the Windward Islands. Nothing much going on in the Caribbean or the Gulf. Now advancing towards Thursday night. Winds are too strong aloft, right along the ITCZ. Fernand would be long gone, and it'll get shredded. Then it'll join up with the upper latitudes, and hasta la vista, baby. And then you have this upper level high. It's quite large, quite dominant, but yet you have this strong trough. over the East Coast. Now we can advance towards Friday night.